John, thank you very much for joining me today on the Gyms Group podcast, which is where we're interviewing franchisees who've done some great things in the division. And you were nominated by Sharon Connell, who's the divisional franchisor, for multiple things, which was customer service and attitude and all that sort of stuff, which is fantastic to see. And on behalf of us, we'd like to present you this Accor Silver membership. It's over the camera there, which is basically 2 free nights to any Accor hotel in Australia or even overseas in Asia and all that sort of stuff, plus half-price drinks and stuff. So on behalf of us, thank you very much for the hard work you do. And what I'd love to do is just basically find out a bit about yourself, John. So what were you doing prior to Jim's Dog Wash?
I've been in construction work since I left school, really. Been a chippy carpenter for probably since I left school, and steel fixing. Done a bit of machine driving as well, and then that's when I got into gyms.
Now, to take a bit of an accent, you're from Ireland?
Yes, I am indeed.
Where are you from in Ireland originally?
I'm from County Longford, which is it's bang in the middle of Ireland.
And when did you come over to Australia?
I'm here now 20 years, but I was here before that doing a bit of backpacking and decided to come back again.
Yeah, that's great. And what were you doing prior? And how long before doing Jim's Dog Wash were you here for?
I was here for 7 or 8 years before I started Jim's Dog Wash, I think. Maybe a bit longer. And yeah, it's when I moved from Melbourne up to Gold Coast, that's when I got into gyms.
You want to get away from the weather, get up to Gold Coast?
Yes.
And what prompted you doing Jim's Dog Wash? Was there an ad, or was it just something you liked the idea of working with dogs, or what was the reason for joining Jim's Dog Wash?
Basically, my wife looked into it when we were in Melbourne, and we didn't go ahead with it. And when I moved up to the Gold Coast, it was hard to get any work up here. And she seen we had an expo up in Brisbane, and we went up and met the franchisor at the time, and I went and had a trial day, and that was it. I just loved it.
And why was it Jim's Dog Wash that you chose? Obviously there's a lot of options. Normally most blokes will choose mowing first generally. So what was it about Dog Wash that you liked?
Look, I love animals. I love working with dogs and things like that. When I was younger, I used to work on a farm back home, so I've always loved animals. So that was it was going to do something that's going to be with animals.
Was it a dairy farm back home?
Not my family, but that's where I worked. So yeah. So yeah,
a lot of good dairy farms in Ireland. Great land for it. I'm going to say as well. So yeah, and how was your training experience like back then? What did you come down to Melbourne, or how did you get involved and learning? Because you're coming from a career which is not dog grooming, obviously. So how did you find the training experience and making the transition?
The training back then, I done at the gym's centre. We done that for 3 days. That was pretty good. There was a lot to take in, which is especially not having your own business before. The dog grooming side of things, I done that in Melbourne. Was only for 5 days, and it wasn't enough for training, but things have improved a lot since then. So yeah,
because you're a bit of a pioneer. You've been around for a long time in the division. Obviously the division is a lot different to what it was probably when you were coming through. So what's the changes that you've seen, maybe let's say more recently, in the Jim's Dog Wash division?
Look, it's all the support. There was great support back then, but there wasn't too many up here on the Gold Coast. But every year, gyms is just improving. And yeah, for me, it's support behind it. You know, if you need anything, there's someone there to help you, and that's why I love it.
And with Jim's Dog Wash, maybe you want to talk to people about the type of work you do. So obviously, it's in the name. There's wash, but there's far more things that you can do in your business. So maybe you want to talk about everything that you offer, maybe in your business, and types of dogs and animals you work with.
Yeah, well, we just stick to the dog grooming and washing. We have a few clients who will walk their dogs as well. Not as many. We're happy to just groom the dogs. But look, you can sell products if you want. A lot of people are selling dog food now at the moment. You can do pet sitting and all other things like that. I just stick to the grooming. That's what I prefer doing.
And is there any like a lot of people say my dog can't be groomed, it's too misbehaved or too aggressive and things like that. So maybe is that true as a statement, or most dogs can be groomed if they get provided with the proper care and treatment?
Yeah, look, a lot of people will say you got to have patience. if you're willing to work with the dog and, look after them for a while, a couple of washes, get to know the dog, it can be done. I haven't had too many dogs in my time that I can't do. You just got to work with the dog and have patience with them. Because, some of them are quite tricky. And once they start to trust you, it gets easier.
Yeah, so for customers, just to know that even though they might think their dog's impossible, you will take the time and you obviously get the training and you've got all the experience in making it an easy process eventually.
Yeah, look, I've had heaps of dogs that gone around in groomers that can't be done before, and I'm willing to give it a go. It's sometimes a bit of a challenge, and you get it done.
And what's the difference between, might be obvious for people, but what's the difference between mobile dog grooming salon and one where you're taking someone or you're waiting for a retail-based one? What's the key benefits to what you do?
Look, going back to the difficult dogs, a lot of them like to be able to see their house and not have to go to a salon where there is other dogs running around on the floor or they're in a cage. They're a lot more comfortable. I have had dogs come from salons and say, don't bring my dog back again, it's too hard. And when I do it at the house, they're a lot more relaxed. And that's probably, a good benefit for the owners, and especially when we come to the house and set up there and you don't have to leave the dog at a salon for a couple of hours or half a day, whatever it may be.
Yeah, it's a good point, John. Yeah, because dogs do get anxious. People might not realize, but there's obviously they do get anxious, and obviously that comfort of their home, but also the convenience as well. We don't have to point it out, but you obviously come to someone's home, you plug in, and then you can just out the door. It's very simple.
Yeah, and look, we meet the customer for the first time, and sometimes then they just leave the key out for us, or we can grab the dog ourselves so they can go to work. They don't have to be home, so it's pretty easy.
And do you want to talk about some of is there any sort of favourite breed you like doing, or was there some sort of is there any sort of favourite breed you prefer to do, or is there some sort of, some breeds that you've got a soft place in your heart that you like when you rock up to someone's house? Or
look, I love doing boxers because that's what I have myself. But probably 8 out of 10 dogs we do are small dogs, that, the Maltese and the Shih Tzus and all that. But look, I love every breed, and you get very fond of some of dogs. So yeah.
What are some common mistakes that dog owners make in your opinion? Is it they leave it for too long, or there's no maintenance, they don't regularly groom it, or what's some of the common mistakes that dog owners are making?
Oh, look, it's brushing. If they want to keep a bit of length on the dog, they need to brush it and look after it. If not, get us out every 2 weeks and we can do that for them. Because no one brushes their dog. They tell us they do, but then we get there and the dog is completely matted, and it's like, no, you didn't do it. I know when they come home from work, they don't want to sit down for an hour or two brushing their dog, which is fine, but book it in on a regularly wash and we'll do all that for you.
Okay, so if you had something where someone could book in every couple of weeks, a really good brush, and then basically maybe the other week or whatever, they could have it wash and groom at the same time, or what's the sort of plan you would recommend normally?
Look, every dog's different. Generally, I know all my clients pretty well now, so majority of them are probably 2 weeks wash, and then maybe after 6 or 8 weeks, I'll suggest to them we'll groom the dog now before he gets too bad. And they always say, whatever you think, John, that's fine.
And how many clients do you currently have in your business?
Oh, I have no idea. Sorry. I'm pretty booked out every week to have my usual schedule. So yeah, I've got a lot of clients.
And what sort of, or how many roughly jobs do you do a day?
It all depends washes or clipping. I could probably clip 6-8 dogs a day. Then washes, you could be 10-12 dogs. And it depends about driving around as well, because we all know traffic is pretty bad everywhere, so it takes a while to get from job to job.
Absolutely. And how would you describe doing what you're doing as a job in terms of your mood, or do you mentally, is it good for you just being with dogs all day, or do you get sick of it, or what's it like overall in your business?
No, I love it. I do get people coming out with me for trial days, and I just tell them, after all my time, over 12 years, I still enjoy going to work, it's very important. I get to meet so many different people and dogs, and yeah, it's really good. So what's the aspect for you that you like the most? Is it just working with the dogs the most, or is it meeting different customers, or are you just doing something you actually enjoy every day? Probably working for myself. I've got a family, and if I want to have time off and go away camping, whatever I do, that's easy done. But yeah, I love working with dogs, and I get to meet a lot of nice people as well. So yeah, it's probably all goes together very well.
So how's the lifestyle with your family? Do you have a couple of kids and you've got a partner as well, and you camp regularly, as you said, and then some nice spots in the Gold Coast. So maybe do you want to talk to a bit of what do you like to do with the family?
We like to go away camping. Um, I used to work Saturdays and have the weekend, but now I have the weekend off. I have two kids and my wife, so kids are obviously into sport. So we work around that every evening when sport's on. I finish early or she'll finish early and pick them up. And it's really easy that way. We can do that. And yeah, we go away when we can, and we just tell everyone we're going away for a few days, and everyone's happy with that.
And what's are you happy with the level of income you're making? Are you happy with what your lifestyle is in your income in comparison?
Yeah, very happy. Yeah, look, if I wanted to work a lot harder, I'd earn a lot more money, but I'm happy with what I'm doing at the moment. Years ago I used to work long hours, but now I've just cut it back a little bit because I want to spend time with the family. There is good money to be made there if you want to.
And what's the secret of being in business for 12 years? Because not every, statistically, it's very rare for most businesses to survive past 10. So what's your secret to being in business for so long?
I don't know. I just like doing what I do, but I love being part of a team. I don't want to go out on my own. And I love seeing new people come through, and I like to see them succeed. That's probably why I keep doing what I do. It's really nice to see someone start and they struggle like I do, and then after a few years they're up and running, and it's great to watch.
And what's the best bit of advice you can give to a new starter in business? What do you sort of tell them when they first start and you meet them?
Oh, look, I tell them all that got to put in the hard yards. I always said, don't sit back and wait for gyms to do everything for you, because gyms can only do so much. They've got to work hard themselves and, make it work.
Now, when you say work hard, do you mean going out trying to generate work for themselves, or wowing with customer service? What are the sort of things the extra things that they should be doing?
Just doing their own advertising. And don't sit at home with your trailer. Just go to dog parks, go to the beach. No one's going to see your trailer in the driveway. If you're out doing things, walking your dog along the beach or like dog parks, people are going to see you. And don't be afraid to go up and talk to them. Have a chat. And if you get a few jobs out of it, well, you've done well.
Now, I've got to ask you, how did you become a Bombers man? Coming over from Ireland to here, how did you end up picking the Essendon Bombers as the team you support?
Well, when I play Gaelic football at home, they're black and red as well.
Okay.
And then I think the year before I come out, Essendon won the grand final. Thought, oh well, I better pick them. So, but they haven't won since. So
that's right. Been a very, very long time.
Hopefully soon.
Absolutely. No, they're looking like they're all right. And basically as well, I want to sort of finish up with you. You're big on mental health and you're passionate about that. Maybe you want to talk about mental health and maybe why is it so important to you and something that you talk about openly?
It's just it's a page on Facebook. There's at the moment there's 24,000 people in it, and I've been on that for a good few years, and they made me a moderator on it.
Don't tell what's the page called?
It's Brothers Unite.
Brothers Unite, yep.
Yeah. It's just basically a safe place for lads to go and speak, because men are stubborn, they don't want to talk. And that's just a page. If there's something going on in their life, they have a problem, they can post it up there. They will only get good advice off other people. There's no one going to bag them or things like that. So we're all there for each other. So it's just, there's too many suicides with men, and it's just important to get the word out there, or try and get lads to speak up.
And what's sort of in that group? Is it just people sharing stories, or does someone say they need help and then people message them, or what's the sort of, with the group, what's going on in that?
Look, a bit of both. Majority is just people sharing their stories, and they might need advice, what might happen. family, what work, whatever it may be, and they'll ask advice. But there will be lads that get on there and they'll say, look, they've had enough to do with life and they want to finish it, and then lads will start messaging them and things like that, and they're going through a tough spot, and they'll just try and help them best they can, and hopefully get them the help they can at the hospital or wherever they may need to go.
And from your experience, John, what's some advice for someone maybe who might to maintain their mental health first of all, and maybe if they do need to do something, what would you sort of advise for them?
Look, if I get talking to one of them on Messenger, I just try and chat to them and see what's going on, and if they're in a bad way, well, if they're close by, we'll try and catch up with them, or we'll get someone else to catch up with them. Just have a chat and listen. Let them talk and we'll listen. We're not professionals at what we do. We're just there to listen and try and advise them to go and get the help that they need.
That's very, very important, mate. And it's a fantastic extra element of why you're a standout franchisee in the group. As again, I just want to say thank you very much on behalf of Jim's Group, and thank you for being a great franchisee. Sharon has a lot of people to nominate, and you were probably one of the first. So, it's reward for all the hard work you do, and you're obviously a great advocate for gyms, and you obviously support a lot of franchisees from what we hear, and you've got great star rating and great attitude overall, and you're a perfect franchisee. So thank you very much, John, on behalf of everyone at Jim's Group, and we'll make sure you get this a call voucher as well. Is there anything you want to say maybe before we end today, or?
No.
Maybe any advice for someone thinking about doing gyms, because you had a lot of a journey. You've come from a new country, you've probably worked a bunch of jobs, and then you've gone and done this, and you've settled down. So maybe some confidence, maybe someone who might be in the same position, who maybe new Australian or something like that.
I just think go for it. If you think that you're going to like this, that's what I love about coming out on the trial day. I have people come out with me and I can see they love it straight away. I was like, this is your passion. This is what you're meant to do. So just do it. Money you'll work that out somewhere along the line, but don't miss this opportunity. And with gyms, there's a lot more opportunities that can come along the line. Trial days, I've been training people for years now. And there's always different opportunities that will come up. And it's just a great group. Like I said before, there's so much support. Not even, franchisees, everyone else, they can all talk to each other. You have your franchisor and the rest and all that. But all the franchisees get on well together and support each other, it's just a great little team.
That's fantastic here, John. Thank you for all that information, and we appreciate it. And once again, congratulations for what you do. You're a big credit to the group, and everyone raves about you. So thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us today.
No problem. Thanks very much for that, Joel.
Thanks.